Fam, welcome to Bama Cuts right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Today, I'm going over a list of prospects that'll be here in Tuscaloosa between May 30th and June 2nd. I would keep close tabs to all of the recruiting greats out there that cover Alabama football recruiting, as you have a monster weekend coming your way. So in this video, I'm going to go over one by one the prospects that are expected to be here in Tuscaloosa. All right, so I'll go full screen on some of these, and I'll kind of come in and out. But keep in mind, this is an unofficial visit for Jett Thomalla, right? He's an incoming prospect. He's 6'5", 200 pounds. He's currently committed to Iowa State. This isn't an official visit. This is an unofficial visit. And he's coming this week between the 30th and the 1st. There'll be a ton of guys in. Research this guy's highlights. This guy is a fantastic athlete. I've seen him play basketball. Some highlights on Huddle. Yo. Fantastic athlete, right? 6'5". I like the fact that they seem to be going after taller quarterbacks. That maybe that's just coincidental. It seems to me, does it seem to you as well, that Coach Kalen DeBoer kind of has his eye on a quarterback that is, that's 6'4" to almost 6'7" range. And we'll talk about John Gazanaga, who just announced that he's coming in just a minute. But in terms of Jett coming, Steve Whitfong of On3 had an article with him and said, he was quoted by saying, "The opportunity to go to Alabama is too big to just bypass, even though he is currently committed to Iowa State." I mean, look, Iowa State, they've had some successful seasons, but there's a big difference between, the football at Ames and the football here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Now, when you look to the quarterback situation with the Crimson Tide, you're probably going to have a quarterback that's here for quite some time after Ty Simpson, because Keelan Russell, he's the guy. Austin Mack is only 19 years old. So a quarterback that does decide to come here, and they will get a quarterback within this class. I don't know who it'll be, but that quarterback is going to have to understand that there's guys ahead of you, and you're going to have to, work on your developmental process before you get on the field here at Alabama. So I think if I'm reverse recruiting against Alabama, I'm telling that prospect, if I'm Iowa State, I'm like, okay, go to Alabama, but just remember that Keelan Russell is just a freshman, and right now they have tabbed as a starter Ty Simpson, which means you're probably not going to play at Alabama for at least 3-4 seasons. So can you go and be patient and wait for your opportunity? So if I'm reverse recruiting against Alabama, that's what I'm talking about. Jett, a hell of a player, though. Definitely check it out of Nebraska. You also have Bryson Coolie. I'll kind of just go through a list of guys that are coming through from May 30th through June 2nd. Most of these other guys are all official visitors. Now, keep in mind that these particular prospects, they're from all over the country. This guy's not far out of West Jones and Laurel, Mississippi, right? Offensive tackle, 6'6", 285 pounds. On3 has him as a 4-star. These graphics from On3's interface. I'm not employed by On3 or 24/7. I'm independent. I like On3's interface. It makes more sense to me. That's why I use it. JJ Finch, he's coming in. He's a 3-star prospect. He is out of Indiana, 6'3", 260 pounds. He's a defensive lineman. And another thing that I'd like to do kind of going forward is look to Alabama's needs after this particular class. And what I mean roster. What would you say, like, next year's roster, where are the needs at? And it's hard to say that because we don't know with all these different rules and players can come back, and I just don't. It's hard to tell what the needs are. Plus, if you have a real need, you just go to the transfer portal, pay the dude whatever he wants, and you bring him in, and the problem fixed, right? Deacon Schmidt is coming in, 6'5", 310 pounds, out of Colorado, right? Windsor, Colorado. He's a 4-star and the #1 player in Colorado. That's definitely notable. You got Braden Rouse. He's coming in, 6'3", 205 pounds, the number 11th overall player in the state of Georgia. 6'3", 205 pounds. Alabama brought in Luke Metz last year from Georgia. I would have thought that Georgia could have landed Luke Metz, but man, that guy was all Alabama throughout his recruiting process. Ryan Mosley out of Georgia, 6'2", 205 pounds. They have him listed as athlete right here, the number 26 prospect in Georgia. Kevin Ford, edge rusher, 6'3", 245 pounds, 4-star out of Duncanville, Texas, right? Duncanville, they produced some prospects, right? A couple of those guys out of Texas on Alabama's roster right now. So this is a 4-star, the number 18 player in Texas. Remember, Alabama signed the number 1 player in Texas last year in Keelan Russell. You got Xavier Tiller, right? At tight end, 6'5", 215 pounds, out of Georgia. Number 22 player out of the state of Georgia. Titan Davis. Yo, name your kid Titan. I love that. 6'4", 262 pounds, 4-star, the number 2 player in the state of Missouri. Now, these prospects that we're talking about right here, they'll all be on campus here in Tuscaloosa from May 30th through June 1st. All right. Chad Kennedy saying Mosley is a wide receiver. Thanks for the intel on that. Malachi Lee, 6'7", 310 pounds. Yes, please, out of Hawaii. Man, Malachi Lee, 6'10", 310 pounds out of Hawaii. I saw the coaches in Hawaii recently. They were obviously visiting Malachi. I'm saying full court press on any offensive tackle from Hawaii. Full court press. Can we get a full court press on Malachi, please, Coach Caitlin DeBoer? We got a super chat up in the house. After this season, the offensive line and defensive line are going to be young. We'll probably be looking to add heavily in those particular areas. And that's coming from Big Bama inside the comment box. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Big Bama. We got Sincere Johnson coming in, 6'3", 235 pounds. He is out of Ohio. You know that Alabama is not afraid to go to the state of Ohio, right? Still amazing that Coach Caitlin DeBoer went into the state last year and pulled out Justin Hill. My goodness. I also love the name, Sincere Johnson. That's what's up. Number 2 player in the state of Ohio. See what I'm saying? All these players from across the country, it doesn't seem like there's one particular pipeline. It seems like, maybe I missed it inside the comment box, after California being a pipeline, what would you say the next pipeline is for Coach Caitlin DeBoer? It might be, is it Georgia? All right, here we got Nolan Wilson out of Mississippi, 6'4", 250 pounds, defensive lineman. The number 3 player in the state of Mississippi. Boobie Feaster, yes, please. Out of DeSoto. Yo, DeSoto, oh my goodness. That high school is synonymous with some absolutely outstanding players. Wide receiver, 6 foot, 175 pounds. Number 6 overall prospect in the Lone Star State. KJ Edwards. All right, eyes up. Here's some homework for you, okay? Maybe tomorrow we'll do we'll showcase some of the highlights. KJ Edwards, look, I know we all want Xavier Crowell, who will be announcing on June 26th, I believe, a couple days after his visit with the Alabama Crimson Tide. KJ Edwards, 5'10", 180 pounds, out of Carthage, Texas. Yo, absolutely phenomenal running back. Over 2,000 yards. His highlights are phenomenal. He's kind of a scat back type running back, right? He's got absolute speed. So that's KJ Edwards. He's coming in. And I wouldn't see like him coming in as kind of like a backup plan to anybody to like, you know, if they don't get Xavier Crowell. I mean, bring him in. You need the best players, period. Luis talking about Booby, right? Remember, who's a character synonymous with the name Booby? What book turned movie turned sitcom had the player named Booby? Sound off inside the comment box. You better get this right. All right, you got Jett Washington. What these names are? I'm loving this. Jett Washington, yes, and so he's a safety, 6'4". The other thing that has stood out to me about Coach Caitlin DeBoer and Courtney Morgan's recruiting is that they're going after lengthier type corners and safeties. I mean, you imagine you get Jordan Edmonds, you have Dejon Lee. I don't know, things work out with Jett Washington, and I don't know where these guys are in terms of like, you know, close to committing or whatever. I just know that they're in town this weekend. like I said, stay close to all your recruiting guys for the insight. You see what I'm saying? You get a safety who's 6'5"? Yes, please. I'm not mad about the length at all. And everybody got the trivia question. That's Boobie Miles. Running back. Midland. Permian, right? All right, so I talked to a source about John Gazanaga, okay? I was really interested because a lot of different reasons. Quarterback, 6'7". I needed to find out more, right? So I reached out to a source, and I posted this on the Facebook channel this morning in case you missed it. And the number one thing to know is, and I think as soon as you saw a quarterback coming in, you might have thought, oh, that means somebody is leaving. That is not the case, okay? These guys aren't leaving. That doesn't mean that. So let that calm your nerves. The focus of the quarterback room is still on Ty Simpson, Keelan Russell, and Austin Mack, okay? John Gazanaga is a really good athlete out of California. Source told me that he will not play quarterback as starter, as a backup, as a reserve at Alabama. He's coming here as a scout team type prospect. And the source said that he wouldn't be surprised if eventually John Gazanaga plays another position other than quarterback. Maybe tight end. I know you're like, another tight end? Look, I don't know. Right now, we know he's a quarterback. He had 1,900 yards during his last season of high school, Santa Margarita Catholic. He's probably familiar because Carson Palmer, right? He played for him. But the other thing is, this young man did not sign with the program out of the class of 2025. I think he had a couple offers on the table, but he didn't sign anywhere. So he comes over to Alabama, and I think he has a connection with Nick Sheridan, who's a quarterback's coach. So I just wanted to put that out there because I know as soon as you saw that, you probably thought, oh my goodness, another quarterback coming in. That's going to mean one quarterback leaving. That doesn't mean that at all. So coincidental that he is 6'7". I think it is noteworthy that he is that tall, but he's coming over here at strictly scout team. Big dude. Who knows? I mean, I looked over his highlight tape. The guy definitely has athleticism. I saw him running around, and it was somewhat impressive to me. Not gonna lie. Hey fam, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you would take a minute and please hit the thumbs up underneath the video, I'd really appreciate it. Also, get inside the comment box. As you know, every single day, Monday through Friday, live at 10 a.m. Central Time, or as mega news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you during my next live or inside the comment box. Give a roll tide, and I'll see you soon.